Hey guys, welcome. So as you all know, the Cybertruck comes with a gorgeous 17-inch screen. However, it does not swivel. And I wish Tesla had added a swivel mount to this, but they just don't come with it. So today we're going to change that. We're going to add a swivel mount sent to me by Anysix. But the question is, do I really need this swivel mount? Well, there are situations when somebody who is of a smaller size would appreciate it. Like for example, my wife is 5'3.5", 5'4"-ish. For her to reach the last 15% of the screen when she's sitting back and driving, it's not easy. She has to lean forward. For me, that's not really that important because I'm 6'1" in height, and actually more than that, I've got extremely long hands. Like I'm sitting back right now, and as you can see, I can easily go way beyond the screen, almost into the glove compartment. Actually, at school they used to call me O2. It stood not for oxygen but for orangutan, which is kind of a pretty apt nickname. But for me, the problem has been sunlight. Many times sun would come from the windows, hit the screen, and come straight into my eyes, and then you're kind of dodging around to avoid the sun. So for that reason, I would love to have this thing swivel. So let's get the mount in and see how it feels. And who knows, after I have installed it and experienced it, I might say, wow, how could I have not had it before? So let's get going. All right, so Anysix actually sent me this swivel mount. I was actually going to buy it, but I asked them and they were nice enough to send me one. So see what's inside. So obviously you have instructions on how to do it. And then you have the mount itself. So these are the plastic bags that will go behind the screen, and that's visible from the back. So the screen comes in front of it. It's a bunch of tools. I believe the way the screen connects to the rest of the car is through a USB-C. So they give the present one going in here and this one going at the back of the screen. So it's like a little pigtail, if you will. This is for the ambient sensor. That's going to go in here. Obviously they have a couple of screws. This is the back, or rather the bottom, where then the ambient sensor comes in here. And this is probably the real mount. Oh my goodness. Wow. This is heavy. My goodness, this is serious. It's probably anodized aluminum. It's too stiff. Actually, it's good that it's stiff, because if I could move it without any moment arm, then the screen would be flopping around. But my God, this is heavy. I don't know about the screen, but I can definitely beat up my neighbor with this if he blows any more leaves into my yard. This is solid. Okay, that's pretty much it. So there are a bunch of videos there that's showing you exactly how to do this. So I may not be that detailed because it's just going to be the same thing. I think the idea is there are two screws holding the screen at this point. You take them out, put this in. The screen goes back in here by reusing those screws. And then you basically put the plastics around it and reconnect the wire, and that's it. So hopefully it's going to be smooth with no problems, but let's see how it all goes. All right, let's get started. I'm going to try and see if I can put a towel over it. Got some sticky tapes at the back to protect the screen. Also going to put some towel here so that I can keep the screen here if I need to. I think it's a good idea to do it from the from the passenger side, because the steering wheel takes up a whole bunch of space, so it's probably easier to get down here from the passenger side. Alright guys, so I have the screen off, and really getting the screws off from underneath this, it was not a big deal. I just used a regular Allen, one of the big Allen keys, rather than the L1 provided, because these are so tight that you need some extra grip. But other than that, that was easy part. Getting the sensor to come off with these two screws, again, these are torque 20s, I think. That was also pretty easy, not a problem. The biggest problem was the data cable that connects the back over there. That was a real pain in the neck, and you have to be super careful because there's not much lead. There's not much lead over here, so you have to be kind of having the screen hanging kind of situation here. And then you got very little room to put your hand inside. So if you have fat hands, well, you're kind of screwed. Anyway, the way you do it is you first pop, and by the way, this is also already in the instructions here. You first pop this out like that with the pry tool, and then normally one would think that, oh yeah, now it's unlocked. Well, it's not. If you pull it at this point, you would break it. What you have to do is, after pulling this out, you have to push with a little screwdriver inwards and pull the thing out. Only then does this come off. Once you get this popped out and you actually start pushing it, it's relatively easy and it pops off. But unless you get that trick up your sleeves, it's pretty stressful. All right, so now that I have the screen off, I'm going to keep going, and if I find any oddities that's different from other people's instructions, then I will put it here. One of the other things actually I found is one of the instructions online said pop this connector and take the climate sensor off, but the other person didn't do that. They just left it hanging, and the bracket that comes with this is just going to go in here with these two screws, so you can save yourself from taking off a second connector. All right, I'll keep going. All right guys, so this was the connector that was going in there. I had to pop these two tags on each side and pull this off. It just comes off once you pull the tags off pretty easily, just slides off. I wrapped it up with some tape so that I don't lose the pieces, but this you don't need. You can save it for in case you need it later to put it back into factory setting. But once this is out, it looks like a typical USB-C, and this is the attachment cable that they supplied. So you just connect the she side into the wire coming out of the Cybertruck, and then this goes inside back in there behind the screen. So people have said that putting this one way or other makes the screen work. I tried mine, and it for me it works with the logo side pointing these two dots. By the way, once you put the cable in the screen here, sometimes the screen doesn't light up. Just open the door, okay, and it wakes up, because I'm sitting on the passenger side and the truck may have gone to sleep. So for no reason your screen will not wake up unless you do something. So opening the door is the easy way out. All right, so now I'm going to put this neighbor smacking heavy bracket with the boomerang side going in here. Now you have to kind of push it, jostle it in a little bit, because it's got a little bit of springiness on these. And once that's in, we'll use the original screws that came off of the screen with the top cover on, and then mount the screen on top of this. and then connect the wires back. Oh, the other thing I did was I also connected the temperature sensor with this piece that they had supplied with the same 2 screws that I had left behind. So these are plastic pieces, so you don't have to really torque them, just kind of, you know, hand tighten them with the Allen key that they've given you, and that should do it. All right, so let's keep going. So these holes behind over there, these guys line up nicely, and then use the original screws, just hand tighten them. They actually line up pretty nicely, so you just have to get them hand tightened and then leave it hand tightened until you put everything else back. Man, that fits beautifully. So that's the rear bracket that goes on the screen. All right, guys, so it's finally done. As you can see, it's moved down from about that height to that height. So it's gone down by about that much. And my big worry was that, will that affect when I look at this is the driver's view, when I look at the road and when I look at the speed. And to be honest with you, I actually like it this way, because this kind of empties up so much, and it feels it's a lot more open. By the way, let's swivel it. Oh man, this is awesome. You know, when I first thought of getting this swivel mount, I thought I was being a little too extravagant. Why do I need this? It's almost like that warm towel you get in business class. But now that I have this thing mounted, it's really like going from economy to business. So I could keep it something like this. Oh man, this is so much nicer. Well, a couple of other worries for me was, will I hit my leg on this? And there is like 4-finger gap, so it's almost 2 inches of gap. The other thing was, if I had it straight and if I opened the glove compartment, will it come and hit this? But nope, there's enough gap, not a problem. So that works well. Overall, I think this is awesome. Let me show you from the other side. If you see from the back, it is really nice. There's only just one wire sticking out, which is the USB-C connection. Actually, the other nice thing was, I have a cell phone charger, and this cable used to come like that and go inside the glove compartment for power, but now I just rerouted it from inside. So if you look at it here, I don't know if you can see, it's getting dark. There's a second wire that comes out, which is the power for that cell phone. So I think it's overall a very nice addition. Yep. The other thing I just noticed is, the shifter is so much closer to the finger. Earlier on I would have to do this. Right now it's like right there. So I can just reverse out. So much nicer. Yep, I really like it. So I'm definitely going to keep this in the car, and I would really recommend people who, if they want to get into a more convenient or more ergonomical setup, then I think this is a good idea. And honestly, Tesla should have just added this by default. I have no idea why they did not. So guys, in the end, I think this is a pretty awesome setup. I'm glad I installed it. There were a couple of small hiccups, like I think the two hard problems here is, the first one is the clip that holds on the screen. You have to be a bit careful. There's that orange tab that you need to push up and then push down the black tab, so that there's two things going on while you pull out. And then the second one, which I definitely recommend you should get a second person. The second problem is putting the last two screws that hold the screen, aligning those, it's a pain in the neck. So other than that, it was a pretty easy install. Overall, the product is solid quality. I definitely like it. Anysix actually were very nice, and they sent me this unit, even though I was planning to buy it originally. I asked them, and they pretty much sent it in a week's time. There is going to be an affiliate code for discount, which I will leave in the description. So if you do like this product, and if you do think this video makes sense, give me a like and use my code to get the discount. Thank you so much. See you next time.